Hi, Assalamu alaikum. This is Shahina. Welcome back to new session. In the last classes, we discussed about some of the programming construct of MySQL, PLSQL. MySQL least support the PLSQL constructs. We learned all of the programming constructs in MySQL. Now we move on MySQL triggers. A trigger is a database object that is associated with a table. Simply, an event is a trigger. An event or action is known as a trigger. The trigger can be executed when you run any of the MySQL statements like insert, update, delete, etc. Today we discuss about how to create a trigger, how to execute a trigger, etc. There are mainly in an SQL two types of triggers are available: row level trigger and statement level trigger. A row level trigger is activated for each row is inserted, updated, deleted. Suppose if you have 100 rows in a table, inserted and updated or deleted operation occurs in that table, a trigger is automatically invoked 100 times for the 100 rows. Statement level trigger. A statement level trigger is executed once for a transaction regardless of the rows inserted, updated or deleted. Please note that MySQL only support row level triggers. It doesn't support statement level triggers. Please note that what is the difference between the procedure and a trigger? Please note, trigger do not accept parameters, while procedures can accept parameters. And the trigger can be executed implicitly by this MySQL engine. But procedure can executed explicitly by calling the user. These are the main difference between procedure and trigger. I already said there are mainly two types of triggers: row level trigger and statement level trigger. In row level trigger, we have before trigger and after trigger. When defining a trigger, it is necessary to specify the trigger timing. That is, specify when the triggering action to be executed in relation to triggering statement, whether it is before or after or both. Before triggers can be executed before the insert, update or delete statement, whereas after trigger execute after the insert, update and delete statement. So we need to manage these all type of triggers. Create before insert trigger, create after insert trigger, create before update trigger, create after update trigger, create before delete, create after delete, etc. First we look on how to create a trigger. Trigger can be created by using a create trigger statement, just like a procedure creation. The create trigger statement create a new trigger. Here is the basic syntax of a create trigger statement. Create trigger, trigger name, before or after, insert or update or delete on table name for each row, then trigger body. In this syntax, first we specify the name of a trigger that you want to create after the create trigger statement. Trigger name is same as the procedure name or function name and which is unique in this database. Next we specify when to execute the trigger. Before or after action is specified. Action time which can be either before or after, which indicate that the trigger is invoked before or after each row is modified. Then we specify the operation that activate the trigger, which can be insert, update or delete statements. After that, we specify the table name on which the trigger belongs after on statement. Finally, we specify the statement to execute when the trigger activate. The trigger body contains maybe a single statement or multiple statement. If the trigger body contains multiple statement, you may use the begin end compound statement. The trigger body can access the values of column being affected by the DML statement. That is, we can access the values of tables or DML statements. This can be achieved by using two type values, new and old modifier values. For example, if you update the column description in the trigger body, you can access the values of description before the update. Then we use old dot description and the new value is accessed by using new dot description. Here I demonstrate an example. Create trigger. My trigger name is before employee update. Before underscore employee underscore update is the trigger name. That trigger is executed before update on. Then the table which the trigger executed is employee for each row. Then my trigger body is insert into employee underscore audit, set action equal to update employee number equal to old dot employee number, last name equal to old dot last name. Here I uses two tables, employee and an employee audit table. When there is any changes in employee table, the changing details are stored on a employee audit table. The audit table contains only action, employee number and the employee name. Then changing date. These are the field in employee audit table. It is an audit table which indicate that there is any employee updation is taken place in employee table. Suppose any update queries are executed in an employee table, the trigger was automatically invoked and the insert a new row in employee audit table when to update the employee table. Next we look on MySQL drop trigger statement. It deletes a trigger from the database. Syntax is drop trigger if exists schema name or of trigger name. First we specifies the drop trigger keyword. Second specifies the name of the trigger. After drop trigger, we specifies the name of the trigger that you want to drop. Then next we specifies the name of the schema to which the trigger belongs. If you skip the schema name, the statement will drop the trigger in the current database. If you use if exist, it's an optional clause if exist. It is conditionally drop the trigger if the trigger exists. The if exist clause is optional. If you drop a trigger that does not exist without using the if exist clause, MySQL issue an error. However, if you use the if exist clause, MySQL issue a note instead. Next we look on MySQL before insert triggers. It is automatically fired before an insert event occurs on a table. The syntax is create trigger, trigger name before insert on table name for each row trigger body. First specifies the name of the trigger, trigger name after the create trigger statement. Second, we use before insert clause that specifies the time to invoke the trigger. Third, specifies the name of the table that trigger is associated with after the on keyword. Then finally, the trigger body which contains one or more SQL statement that execute when the trigger is invoked. If you have multiple statements in the trigger body, as I already said, you can use begin and end block and change the default identifier. Consider the block delimiter, create a trigger, trigger name before insert on table name for each row, begin statements and then the delimiter. Note that in a before insert trigger, you can access and change the new value only. However, you cannot access the old value because old values previously do not exist. In the following manner, we can use after insert trigger, before update trigger, after update trigger, before delete trigger, after delete trigger, etc. Today we discuss about a small portion of trigger, how to create a trigger, how to delete a trigger, etc. Then please note that triggers are executed implicitly. There is no call or execute function is needed for executing the triggers. This is the main difference between trigger and procedure. Then, and also we note that MySQL is only permitting row level triggers. Statement level triggers are not permitted by the MySQL. Thank you students. Thank you for watching this video.